The Amityville Horror, the house where the devil lived. This story takes place in a small town called Amityville in the state of New York, USA. There was an old house by the sea, 112 Ocean Avenue. From the outside, it looked completely ordinary, but inside, something lurked that terrified the entire world. And the scariest part? This is not a movie story. It really happened. The Bloody Night, November 13th, 1974. It was a cold month. On the night of November 13th, at exactly 3:15 a.m., the neighborhood of Amityville was fast asleep. The DeFeo family was also sleeping peacefully. Father, mother, two sons, and two daughters. Everyone was in their beds. But that night, the eldest son, 23-year-old Ronald DeFeo Jr., was not asleep. He held a heavy rifle in his hands and quietly entered his father's room. His father was fast asleep. Ronald fired straight into his father's head. Then he went to his mother's room. Another shot. One by one, he killed both his brothers and both sisters the same way, all while they were sleeping. 6 people, 6 bullets, and all at the hands of their own son in their own home. When the police arrived in the morning, they were shocked. Every victim had a pillow over their face, and all had gunshot wounds to the head. When Ronald was questioned, he calmly said, "I was hearing voices. The voices told me to do it." In court, he repeated the same story, but he was sentenced to life imprisonment. The house remained empty, but the real terror was yet to come. The Lutz family moves in, December 19th, 1975. A year passed. The price of the house had dropped. While similar houses sold for hundreds of thousands, this house was sold for only $80,000. The reason was clear. 6 people had been murdered there. But George and Kathy didn't care. They had 3 children, Daniel, Christopher, and little Missy. They wanted a big house, and this one fit their budget. They thought, it's old history. We'll make a fresh start. On December 18th, 1975, they moved in with all their belongings. The first day seemed fine. The children played, boxes were unpacked. But as night fell, the house began to show its true nature. Around 9 p.m., Kathy noticed the front door slowly opening by itself. She went to close it. After a while, it opened again. She locked it, but the door opened anyway. Peeking outside, she saw nobody. Even the wind wasn't blowing. Around 11 p.m., little Missy needed to use the bathroom. Kathy took her to the toilet. When she flushed, instead of water, thick green slime emerged. It was foul-smelling and sticky. They assumed a plumbing problem. The next morning, a plumber checked everything. Pipes were fine. But the next morning, the same thing happened again, and then again the following morning. The next day, a small hole appeared in the children's bedroom wall. Flies kept coming out. Imagine, it was December, freezing outside, yet flies kept appearing. George broke the wall, but found nothing. No nest, no dirt, nothing. Still, the flies kept coming. That night, George saw a black animal in the garden. It looked like a huge pig, but its eyes glowed red. He switched on the lights. It disappeared. Kathy was very religious. She hung a wooden cross on the wall. The next morning, it was upside down. She corrected it, but the next morning, it was upside down again. This happened daily. One day, she kneaded dough in the kitchen and left it there. The next morning, hoof marks appeared on the dough, like a goat's. The kitchen doors and windows were closed. No one could have entered. Then how did the marks appear? One day, Kathy saw the ghost of a little girl. She was crying and saying, "Get me out of here, I'm trapped." The children screamed at night, saying someone was pulling their hair. The The strangest thing happened to George. Every night at exactly 3:15 a.m., he would wake up and roam the house as if someone else was controlling him. In the morning, he wouldn't remember anything. 3:15 a.m., the exact time the DeFeo family had been killed. Some rooms were freezing cold, even with the heater on. Doors would open on their own. Whispers came from the walls. Attack on the priest. They called a priest. As soon as he entered the house, he felt as if someone was punching him in the face. He ran outside, terrified, saying, "Do not stay in this house. Something evil lives here. This is the devil's house." 28 days passed. In those 28 days, they experienced horrors no one wants to see. Finally, on January 14th, 1976, George said to Kathy, "No more. This house will kill us." That night, under the cover of darkness, they left everything behind, their belongings, clothes, everything, carried their children, and drove away. They didn't even look back. Now the question, was this real or fake? The Lutz family claimed everything happened exactly as they described. Books were written, movies were made. Some say it was all a scheme to make money. But priests and police who visited reported experiencing strange things themselves. Today, that house no longer exists. A new house was built in its place, and the street name was changed. But the story lives on, one of the most famous and terrifying true stories in the world. So, that was the Amityville horror story. Now you tell me, if you were in that house, what would you do? I'd say, if you wake up at 3:15 a.m., beware. The house might be calling you. If you liked this story, don't leave the channel without subscribing. Otherwise, you might feel it at night.